Why so serious? Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this surprise interview, not interview, getting crazy together with all the four amigos here on screen. We have here, not in particular order, how I see them from left to right, our friend, amigo, Andrew Knight. How are you, Andrew?
Doing great. How are y'all?
Very good. Crazy,
Very good.
interesting morning. Next to me, we have Philip Hiritz. How are you, Philip?
Hello. Doing great now that I'm here among these friends.
Yeah, very good. You know, your good amigo, Señor Performo, crazy mustache guy running around today with the streams. And to my right, we have Peter Fieldhasi. I'm still saying it wrong.
Still saying it correctly
Oh,
since
yeah.
last time.
Okay. I always question myself if I am saying it wrong finally, or did I forget the right way? Damn, I don't know. But welcome, everybody. And I decided to do this surprise event panel. This is not a panel, definitely not a panel. No. But if you want to send this gentleman a question, feel free to put it in the chat, and our brave operator behind the camera, behind the streams, will be reading them up to us. If you want to say hi, if you want to say, oh my God, I love you, or something like that. Please do that.
That's for Andy.
Oh my gosh.
Feel free
Expecting
to
definitely more comments now.
yeah, please. Feel free to. You're very welcome. Go crazy with us because we're about to get crazy. Because I want to have a few interesting conversations about what is the thing that all of you have noticed that, and this is an easy topic. What is the topic, the trend in this Star Wars 2024? Anyone wants to jump at it?
It starts with A
And ends with
and
F.
ends with A. Hey!
AI. Yeah. Have you seen anything truly interesting around that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Got it.
I have seen. I have been playing with Cursor, the editor, a couple of last weeks, 4 weeks maybe,
Mhm.
and it's been good. It's so good. Yeah. It made me a 10x engineer.
Okay.
I started
Truly?
truly, yeah, like the generating code at speed of thought and actually like matching the thought I have. So I'm a if I were a developer, I would probably be just a junior developer because like creating a simple to-do app would probably take me a couple of days. Right? But I can read code, I can understand the logic, I can get by, right? So, but if I write it manually, I do all these syntax errors and logical errors and all kinds of errors. And Cursor, like it can like autocomplete, sort of like Copilot does, but also has this chat where you can just ask it to generate some code or generate something for you. So I've been doing like this back and forth with Cursor, and I've been creating applications and Chrome extensions and VS Code extensions, and I wrote a application in Swift, which I never like. I know the basics, but I have never written anything of value. And yeah, it's been great. Like I recommend it. It's they have forked VS Code, so if you're using VS Code, it's like pretty much the same. Even like all your extensions,
extensions.
go through that. It's beautiful. If you're I'm not sponsored, but you know, like if you are, if anyone from Cursor is watching, you know, I have an audience.
Give a call to this gentleman that seems
No,
to be really excited about your tool. So
Yeah, but seriously, like it's I wanted to say something and I forgot now.
you're not
Yeah,
sponsored,
if
you're
you haven't tried it, you're kind of missing out. I think it's really cool.
I
Yeah.
can't wait to.
Like when I get back home, I'm going to try it out. Just the other day, I was over by poolside chatting with Melissa, one of our friends, and she was like, "Yeah, I was struggling with something for an hour. Jason Arbin recommended me, hey, try Cursor, and within 10 minutes, I solved the problem." I'm like, "Oh, dang!"
Nice.
And she's like, "Yeah, it's like a fork of VS Code or something, so all your extensions work." I'm like, "Oh, really? Oh, so it's not like a new editor; it's just a better editor." Ah.
Wow.
Okay.
I mean, I think you guys are on your own. I kind of need to run and try.
No, yeah, it works.
No, it's I'm really having urges to try to go and check it and see all these benefits sold.
I'm pretty sure that it helps with performance testing as well. So
Yeah, it should be able. The wonders that these two are talking about, I'm sure that some automations we may have an easier time with them. Very excited. Very much look forward to. Great, great. Any other things that you have noticed or that you really are enjoyed about?
well, for me, definitely, I would highlight that everybody seems to be wanting to bring AI, even if it does not necessarily connect to their topic that closely. They still try to bring it in, which I think is fine and it's understandable because, and I'm seeing it at other conferences as well, that people are submitting papers where they try to bring that flavor. What I would recommend, and not just when submitting to conferences such as STAR conferences or when working at your companies, try to think how you can leverage AI. It helps with so many things. I had a tutorial yesterday about Java test automation framework development, and we were using pure ChatGPT to figure out why there is an error. There was, I think, something regarding Gradle that 4 or 5 of my students had. So I brought one of them to show how she is using ChatGPT to solve it. So we were learning how to write the prompts better, and very quickly, in a couple of minutes, we were able to solve the issue for all 5 of them through that. And it's again very simple. You can find a lot of different guides online that can help, and not just with coding, but other activities as well. So yeah.
Yeah, can you ask it as well to get your taxes done or something?
I've never asked it, but probably yes, you could.
Yeah, I have heard of people that like, hey, how should I like deduct this and some recommendations, but
I think you should tell this idea to Jason. I think, he would love to.
I'm not sure he will
implement
be
it.
scandalized or kind of wanting to punch me or generally excited, but.
He will just add you to your next talk. And
Look at the picture of this mustache guy. Guess who tried to do taxes is in jail now because of
Well,
It's also interesting what you mentioned about prompting. So on my way here, I was watching this video where they had a AI researcher who was like in the AI like years back, and on the interview they would be discussing like different types of prompting. You know, like for example, like role prompting, act as a, something like that. And he was actually doing research on or like reading papers of research of how these different prompting strategies work and how effective they are. And for example, the role-based prompting, there was this really cool anecdote where the role-based prompting is like act as a graphic designer, act as a senior developer, act as a Harvard PhD graduate. And they were like trying to experiment like whether this statistically if it works. And the role-based prompting strategy apparently is not very effective. And it was funny that they tried to like also like compare it to like do the opposite, like don't act like a Harvard graduate, but act like an idiot. And it was kind of funny that when they compared the results, the idiot actually got most things a little bit better than the Harvard graduate. So yeah, so there are like a couple of different strategies, and I feel like it's really interesting to like delve into that and learn about those.
That makes
Because,
me
like-
kind of ponder if it says something about the model or about Harvard experts.
well, that's what I was about to say. It's like, wait a minute, hold on.
That's why that anecdote
can
is
we
funny,
verify?
but I think it's more about the model. But you know, like so many of us had the experience. Oh, like this ChatGPT cannot do anything. It cannot solve this problem, which I would really like it to solve, and it would be useful if it could solve this problem. Well, but maybe there's something about the strategy. Maybe I'm not using it wrong. Maybe I'm not using it correctly. So, so I think like it's. I know like testers and developers like whoever like don't really like to talk about AI too much, you know, because it's going to take my job, etc. But I mean, you can stay on top of it. You can learn how to use it. And again, like going back to the cursor, like it has made me 10x engineer, right? It has made me effective, and it has potential to do that if you use it correctly. Sorry, I kind of took the took the stage
No,
here.
no worries.
But I thought it was interesting what you said about the
we're at a
prompts.
spot of if any wants to fight back or like, no, Philip, shut up. That's where and you wanted
Anyone
to say
wants to
something?
punch me?
No, just going back to how you can use AI in useful ways. Like we're talking about doing taxes and joking about that. Well, my wife runs a dance studio. She's a small business operator. And so many times she asked me, Andy, can you proofread this? Can you check this? And I'm like, ChatGPT. Or another
we
thing,
hope she's not watching this because
no. Or another thing is she brings in guest instructors many times, very famous people in dance community, and so she needs to write up contracts for the services that they should be providing, the dates, the amounts, hotel and stuff, all the disclaimers of business jargon, and a lot of times in the past, she asked me, Andy, can you do this for me? And it's like, I'm no more capable of doing this than you are. So eventually I'm like, okay, ask ChatGPT. And she tried it one time and she's like, this is amazing. Right. And then she did that first. And then she asked me to look at that. And I looked at it. I was like, looks good to me. Right.
I was on the other end of that. I got a NDA sent to me,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, there was a wall of text, and I was like, I don't feel like reading this. So I just copied it, posted it into there. Like, is there anything I should be aware about? I'm a freelancer, I don't want to get into trouble if I work with a similar company or something like that. What do you think about this? And it showed me like, yeah, there are no risks. It's okay. Which would be a really cool way for ChatGPT to trick me, if ChatGPT wrote that contract, in the first place.
and especially NDA to ChatGPT, and then it's out there, and they're like, can be. He didn't say that, nothing happened, and but no, an NDA, I don't think that's NDA-able.
They're not like brutal. Yeah, usually it's just like don't use our
The
code.
NDA itself.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one that I don't think there should be that much problem.
Mm-hmm.
So we all have had all these experiences, wives, me as well. When I tell her, like, guess what I did with ChatGPT, and guess what I did now, and guess what I did, and she's like, you're kind of making me want to try. And no joking, like 2 weeks ago, she comes back like, I used it, and it's awesome, but I'm scared. And it's like, good scared or bad? I don't know, but this is really weird. It replied really well because she was dealing with also some contracts and some stuff and spreadsheets and trying to get some numbers, and boom, and she's like, whoa. So I think it's interesting how the impact gets to areas where sounds like none of our wives are in the IT world or too deep into, and now they are kind of like, it's general access now. It's something that not only testers, but everyone. I have heard that, ChatGPT told me this. What do you think? Like, you use ChatGPT? Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I feel kind of excited. But you want to?
So I actually have a topic that I'm thinking of related to AI. So what do you think about technical interviews? Because what I've been seeing this year is that more and more people are using it for cheating. So we are currently thinking of it as a cheating if you are not trying to solve coding examples, coding exercises on your own, or there are some theoretical questions, and then ChatGPT generates the answer for you, and you just read it up. I mean, that's not your answer, but ChatGPT. But on the other hand, if we are starting to expect people to be able to use
Expect you to be the calculator, right?
Yeah, that's the question. Like, what are we testing for? And I think in most software development or engineering or testing positions, ultimately what matters is that the individual or candidate can produce software or can produce testing. And so if AI is a tool, it should be allowed in that. one of the things I've always hated in interviews are the stupid trick questions or the stupid little very technical algorithmic coding challenges where they're trying to trip you up on an off by one error in a loop. Or I remember, gosh, like years ago, I did an interview with Facebook and they had 2 rounds of little mini coding challenges. One was multi-dimensional array traversal. I got that one. And the other one was, balance a red-black binary tree. I never heard of a red-black binary tree. And I'm like, okay. And this is when I was fairly fresh out of college. So it's like, I know the algorithms, I know the data structures. I've been schooled in all this. And here on this little technicality.
Red, black?
Exactly. I'm like, I'd heard of balancing binary trees, but never heard of a red-black binary tree at that time. And I'm like, so when I went into that, it's like 45-minute virtual whiteboard before Zoom was a thing. I'm like, I'm done. And they're like, oh, you cannot use any resource. And they're tracking your screen and all. I'm like, it's over. I can't do this. I literally don't know what this is. There's no way for me to find out what this is. And they're going to exclude me because I tripped up on something very inane, very, in my opinion, kind of stupid.
Did you Google that afterwards?
I looked it up afterwards. I mean,
Does it exist or?
It was a thing. It was
okay.
The red-black associations with the node were a way to optimize how you can do balancing, right? But it's like, here I was. I considered myself to be a fairly capable engineer, albeit entry level at the time. I was able to get the first challenge done, but you look at Facebook as like how many other candidates who were capable did they lose or exclude on these very trivial points.
But that's like a question. If you are, I don't know, fairly well versed in, you could even be deeply versed in French history. But if the question is like, in what apartment number building was Napoleon born at? And I feel like that type of question.
Yes, they're. So I felt like they were looking for the wrong thing. So I mean, I guess if you were looking from Facebook, they get so many applicants, they have to have some way to weed people out. Okay, fine, but so in that case, it's like, but I guess I continue to see other companies do that sort of thing in their interview process, right? They're testing for the wrong things, they're asking for the wrong things. They have really poor screening technical challenges, and gets back to Peter's point is maybe we should be allowing people to bring things like AI to learning technologies. Maybe we should let them use the cursor browser and see what they come up with, because ultimately day to day, that's what they're going to be doing anyway.
I like this line where any of you have seen, let's switch a little to interviews, these weird questions in QA interviews. Have you experienced some of these things?
Give me an example.
Yeah, the black tree.
Like that one?
Because you got me thinking, like in many full stack tester interviews that are like, come on, 5 years of experience and just out of college.
5 years in experience in something that was released just a year
5
ago.
years of ChatGPT experience, which I think 3 people in the world had that because was just being researched. But so some of these points where you brought it up, I totally thought right away, QA especially, I see is not HR to blame or the hiring managers, but at times it's tough to put those elements without being a real expert tester talking to the candidate. Like, what question should I ask? How could I pass this or demonstrate that I am a good QA engineer to what is being looked? The other day, our camera friend, Antonio, was sharing a story of an interview that the person had like this language translator right away into ChatGPT, trying to send back the answers and was giving good answers. How do you catch that? How can you work around that? And he brought up a very, very clever action that I thought like, I wouldn't have thought about it. Because the candidate was showing code, was showing some responses. I was like, can you go back to a few responses that you did and tell me about this code and just change something? But since AIs don't generate exactly the same code from before, we're like, I don't think I can do that. Why?
Oh,
Red. Okay, thank you very much.
I think a solution could be like just share the whole screen and share how you solve the problem with ChatGPT and or whatever tool you are using, and that's it. Like if that's a requirement now that you need to be AI augmented or AI 1st or whatever, then okay, show how you are using it. It's not cheating anymore because we allow you to do it. And exactly like the situations that you mentioned, like okay, I don't know what that black, red, whatever
Yeah.
tree is. So either someone needs to explain it to me, or I'm using ChatGPT to explain it to me, and then I'm going to be able to provide the right solution after that.
I think that's going to be interesting when we start to get, on one hand, remote interviews. Those are like, yeah, these are my headphones that you're listening me through, and they are connected to some ChatGPT, something, right? But yeah, we are seeing your screen, blah, blah. I can't stop that you have an iPad behind the screen and you're seeing things now, bro. But yeah, it's kind of like a chasing game to try to get to those points, and we're gonna be seeing. We already see scandalous things that I see some interviews like, hey, can you move your hand in front of your face to make sure that you are not someone else posing as or doing like,
Yeah.
damn, have you had that really? And yes, they have.
Jeez.
Wow.
Now, there's another thing that we were having a conversation earlier, and I think this is gonna bring some fire to the talk. BiDi.
Oh.
For the ones that are watching, if you saw the stream that we did earlier, I was reading what were the talks today on BiDi, BiDi, what, I don't know what is this, but or how to, and we have some people with that have experienced or seen the situation. What do you think it's this bringing? What is it going to change?
We are yet to see what it is going to change, but basically, for those who don't know, the WebDriver BiDi is a new protocol that is going to take place in place of the existing WebDriver
Wait, is it going to
protocol
replace
for
it?
Selenium. Eventually, yes. So
Oh.
right now I think it's being slowly rolled out, or you can opt in or something like that. I don't
Beta
really
testing
know
or
the
something.
details. I know WebDriver IO version 9 or 8 was it that came out recently. I think it was version 9. Already has it like by default set up.
Oh.
And basically, if I were to explain this at a very high level, the classic WebDriver protocol, the way it communicates with browser is by sending HTTP requests to like send different actions. Open this page, find this element, click on that element, and so on. And a couple of years ago, Playwright came along, and they have been super fast. And the way they approached stuff was that they, instead of sending HTTP requests, created a WebSocket connection and communicated with the browser pretty much on a constant level.
Mhm.
And that's why Playwright is so fast. So WebDriver BiDi aims to be this sort of taking that principle, but standardize it and bring it to every browser out there. And the promise is that you can just put it as a drop-in replacement, and you're going to have your Selenium scripts or whatever is using WebDriver BiDi go super fast, and is going to be standardized. So it is interesting to see this evolve. We are yet to see a wide adoption of this.
Mhm.
It seems that Playwright team might also opt in for this new WebDriver BiDi protocol. Cypress, I guess, is going to get left out of this, so it's going to be interesting to see the future of Cypress. And yeah, but it does seem like WebDriver BiDi will be something that sort of levels the field across different test automation frameworks.
It sounds like it is going to be somewhat impactful for what you're describing, because in my experience jumping from HTTP to sockets, that's kind of like an
Yeah,
interesting change.
that is the promise. So
Hmm.
we'll see. Yeah.
I'm very curious of what this, now that I know what is this BiDi, what changes is it going to bring? Because yeah, from the performance world, we also have some web automations that are starting to use the WebDriver to simulate some browsers, and sadly generate load through browsers. Don't do that. If you can. Sometimes you can't, and that's the only way. Then that's where you should use it. But I'm very curious, interested for this technology. Sounds like you will have both standards happening at the same time while the transition or the beta versus VHS, DVD, Blu-ray happens, or some no, it wasn't HD disc and Blu-ray. Was it the fight?
that was
okay.
that format war.
Yeah, DVD was behind. Sorry, don't shout at me if you think it's HD.
Looking for your comments. forward.
So we are. I'm happy. Thank you so much for explaining this BiDi thing. I was thrown off by like, yeah, I'm not on the functional side. I'm not up to my functional automations, playwrights and stuff. That's why we have multiple amigos with multiple fields of experience. Also, if you had any other questions, did we get any comments? Oh, come on.
Not even I love you, Andy.
Sexy. Well, I hope at least if you're watching this afterwards, hit us with a comment, send us something. We are all on LinkedIn, social networks. We can find us. I think it's in this corner that you are seeing our names, and you can look for us in the socials. We are all at least LinkedIn, everyone.
Yep.
So, and well, to start the ramp down of this episode, any closing comments anyone would like to give? Some empowering or some recommendation to the audience?
Inspirational,
Yeah.
motivational.
Don't be scared of change.
Yes.
Okay.
Said in an ominous voice.
Don't be very scared.
I am your father. No. Any other?
Yeah, I think Peter kind of summed it up really well. Yeah, we are in a field that is prone to change a lot. Things that were important 10 years ago are now obsolete, and things are speeding up. So yeah, and this AI sort of highlights the fact very, very like strongly, right? It's not only like 10 years ago, things from 10 years ago are now irrelevant. It seems like now we're living in days where 2 years ago, things from 2 years ago are now irrelevant. So it's only going to be speeding up. So yeah, follow interesting people, learn from them, do a bit of research, come to conferences and talk to people. That's going to be really helpful, and you will stay on top of the game. And I think that's that is a good advice there. Yeah.
Excellent. Andy?
I would also say, I don't think these AI technologies are a fad or a gimmick. Like so many times there are those kinds of technologies that they hit the scene with the splash, but they don't really stick. One that sticks to my mind were like the 3D TVs, right?
TV, crypto,
Blockchain
whatever,
was another one where
NFTs,
everybody
and-
thought it was going to be a big thing, and it didn't really pan out. And then, NFTs. This is the new way that we have art. Not really. So it's always important when new technologies come out to have a sense of discernment. And I think the real questions we have to ask are, what is the value being delivered? What are the problems being solved, right? For some of these things, they were solutions in search of a problem. But I feel like with so many of these AI technologies, especially more recently, the generative AI technologies, we are seeing so many problems being solved that, and it's not that we couldn't do it before, it's just that we are much more efficient using these things now. And they're not replacing us because they're not fully 100%, but we can really get a lot of value out of them, right? Oh, I can have that contract developed. I can have it answer questions on how to do my taxes or what is WebDriver BiDi, right? And we can learn more quickly rather than our older techniques of, well, let me just like search through Google or ask some people or just wander around not knowing.
Okay, I will tell the AI teach me some BiDi next time. I just didn't have enough time. I just read it an hour ago or two.
Just make it write the new code for you.
No,
Don't have to learn.
I'm
even.
not saying I haven't done that already. I mean, shameless. But yeah, I do agree big time with you, Andy. With this is not a fad. AI has come to stay. It's gonna change things a lot. And as you were saying, Philip, no, the speed now that we are going to be starting to experience changes. We are living right now in, I think, one of those when the seasons change, everything becomes different because so many changes are coming with AI. They are starting to appear. So many things that, yeah, I do think some problems are solved faster, or some others that we were like, I don't know exactly. Hey, AI, what? Oh, even
Yeah.
for writing scripts or silly things that I have asked it, I'm dry of ideas. The hamster is running backwards and stuff. And AI gives me some ideas that, okay, the rest I can put together and wow, it's way, way better. And definitely, like Peter said, don't be afraid of change, embrace it, tackle it, learn it, because it's not here to replace you, it's here to help you. And if you know how to drive these new tools, you'll do well. All mankind will do well. Excelente. So with that, I think we are going to be closing this stream, this little not so interview surprise with the four amigos. Stay tuned because Star West 2024 is just starting. We're going to have some more interviews today, some panels later, and some more action. And I'm going to let these gentlemen go back to, because keynotes are happening right now. We don't want to miss that much of them. And amigos, thank you very much.
Thank
you
you.
for
Thank you
having
very
us.
much.
We'll see you around. And everyone, stay tuned. Don't shut off that YouTube, LinkedIn, or wherever you're watching us. Star West app. See us there.
Yep.
Adios. Take care.